What up, world? You already know what time it is. It's your boy Mac Mizzle, the host with the most. Never needed to brag, no boast. All we ever did was give a toast to the real folks. Let them pave the way. Got my right hand on me, as usual,
Yeah.
in the building.
What it do, man?
Hey, man, I gotta call it like I see it, man. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of folks out here in the industry is shook, and I can understand that. The powers that be give you a whole fantasy life, you know, and you want to keep living that life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Regardless of what, or, or how you do it, as long as you keep it up with the status quo, you're all right in their books, right?
Exactly.
I had to
Chime in.
look at this whole situation with Kanye
Yeah.
and Nore, and I'll be damned that I was bigging up Nore just yesterday, seeing how well his podcast is doing. You know what I'm saying? How well his podcast is doing, how real he's keeping it, and everybody else was canceling Kanye. He's the one that brought Kanye back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a little something I need to show y'all. I know he did, which I didn't respect at all, you know? I mean, one thing to retract their statement and be like, I regret such and such, but you don't take down the whole damn interview, yo. Especially after you hear Whack 100 talk his bullshit that he want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Check this out.
Attention.
Check
The
this one
United
out,
States
right?
Federal Reserve is having a meeting.
This shit had my blood boiling. I'm like, how could you even think of doing something like this?
What did Wax say?
You know, Whack be adding on and egging on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a part of the powers that be establishment. You know, he's like one of their lackeys. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's Ray Donovan, but he's actually Rainbow Donovan. If you know what I mean. But yo, check this one out.
It's Ebro in the morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg. Good morning. Ebro is on assignment today. But today's an important day that we were excited to get on the air because over the weekend, our friends Nore and DJ EFN had Kanye West on Drink Champs for the third time. And this, of course, is an interesting one because it's coming on the heels, Laura, of Spring Hill, LeBron James and Maverick Carter's company, canceling his appearance on the shop, right?
Right. So it was a big deal because when I reported it, I know that Cheesy was part of that lineup and designer Salady, and I heard it got really intense and really heated so much that the shop decided not to air their episode because they didn't want to give Kanye West hate speech a platform, according to their press release.
So that brings us to our friend Nore, who's with us right now. Nore at EFN decided to have Kanye
back on Drink Champs. And I guess I'll start here, Nore. What was the logic for you guys in giving him the platform to come on and talk?
Well, the logic was the same way you guys are giving me the platform. I think you guys have love for me. You guys have respect for me. You guys think that I should have a say. There wouldn't be no drink champs if it wasn't for me coming to this very show and viewing my expressions. You know what I'm saying? I remember I came up with the idea to do drink champs after Prodigy wrote his book. And Prodigy wrote his book, and I had to have a rebuttal because obviously I was in the book. You know what I mean? And I would come up to this show, I would come up to the other show, and I started to realize that, you know what? I should have my own show. So this started from there. Now with Ye, I have a relationship with Ye. You know, when he was going through a lot of things that he was going through, he would call me and he would actually listen to me and take my advice. So I felt I could control the situation. I felt that I could control the interview, and I've learned early on that I didn't. Like, you know, as a black man, I feel like I failed. As a human, I feel like I failed. But as a journalist, I succeeded because as a journalist, you're not really supposed to have an opinion. You're supposed to let people talk. And my biggest critique on Drink Champs is, Nore, you always cut people off. And this is the one time I didn't cut the people. Didn't cut them
Everyone
off.
says
And
you should have cut them off.
Everyone's mad. Like, so I should just stick to what the script is and cut everyone off. But I sincerely apologize to anybody that was hurt by Kanye's words, by Kanye's actions, because I didn't really realize that sometimes you're so much into the interview, you're not even in the interview. You understand what I'm saying? And so for the first 5 minutes, Kanye had walked in and he said he had people filming. And he told to my producer, he said, if you tell the people to stop filming, that he would walk out. So that the rhetoric of George Floyd, when you hear him speak about George Floyd, that's in the first 5 to 8 minutes of the actual interview. I actually check him and I say, you shouldn't say that. I actually check him about the Jewish community. I actually check him about the black community, but you don't see that till 2 hours in the interview. So what you're seeing right now, what we're getting backlash for, is for the first 5 minutes of the interview. And you guys understand that when you're trying to have a long interview or in-depth interview,
You got to pace yourself.
You got to pace yourself. So, but if the people are mad at me, the people are saying that was irresponsible of Nore, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Y'all right. You know what I mean? Like, I should have checked him right then and there. So
well,
listen, he said it.
I hear you, and because I love you, I went and kept watching. I was like, everyone's saying they didn't check them at all. let me keep going. And I got to the parts where you guys did try to push back. I mean, listen, you guys went the homie approach of like, hey, but what about, you know, which is what you should do because he's your homie. Right. Like it makes sense. That was your route. Do you feel though? My only criticism would be this, Nore. There was one part where you were trying to really push back at the end, and I was like, "Oh man, Nore's too drunk. He's too drunk. I
was too like. By the way, we're called drink champs, guys. We're not political champs. You know what I'm saying? We're called drink champs. We're here to get these people inebriated. We're here to have, because that's when you get these stories that you guys love so much. Is when I get them drunk. So unfortunately, sometimes I get drunk with them. It's just he stood with that ideology. He stood with. And by the way, I love Kanye West. I really think that we shouldn't give up on Kanye West. I really think that
it's getting tough.
We should talk. Yeah. I know this. I really think because right now, to me, I just got the phone with Talib Kweli, and I said, Talib, I think you should reach out to him. I think he needs a Mos Def conversation. I think he needs a Dave Chappelle conversation because he's not having these. So when he's having them, he's so much in dominance of this. And like I said, you know, let me not railroad. I'm here to say I apologize to anybody who felt like I let them down, because I did feel like I did let them down to a certain extent, because like I said, I did check him later, but by the time I checked him, it was already kind of like too late. So I can't be mad at Baller Alert for, you know, posting the footage that I don't want them to post, because I'm not mad at them when they post the footage that I do want them to post. So yeah, I do feel let down. I do feel like I didn't do the right job, but this is a learning experience. I did not go to school for journalism, but that's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a special ed student. It's not an excuse. I should have checked him as soon as he said it.
I appreciate that sentiment. Laura, what do you got?
I will say that because I was so frustrated watching clips of you trying to get a point across, but there was never really a point made because you were trying to gather your thoughts and you were clearly very drunk. But I'll give you some pushback. I feel like sometimes when you sit down and you're gonna talk to somebody, especially when you know that shows like The Shop couldn't even air their episode because of the hate speech and the consequences that things can come out of. I just felt like, God, I really felt like,
Well,
some
I felt
fact
like I had
checking.
control. I felt like I had control. And then at the time, it's like, I've been the guy. I've been the guy that they said blackballed. I've been the guy that they didn't let in Hot 97. I've been the guy that wasn't allowed in MTV, BT Studios, Viacom Studios. So I've been there. So I was thinking of that. I said, you know what? I felt like I was blackballed before. So let me let this guy speak, and I did let him speak. And it's a 3-hour interview. It was only 2 minutes of it where I didn't have control of it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think of that, player?
No, he's absolutely on point with it. I feel like he shouldn't have to apologize. Actually, yeah, he does, but like not to the extent of what he's going. I feel like, shit.
I think Nore knows exactly what he's doing. Being a street dude, right? Sometimes you like to push the envelope.
Yeah.
But you have to do it in such a way where people think that you're dumb. Because he's really forcing them to be like, yo, Nore, you ain't shit. But at the same time, he aired the interview. Other platforms didn't air the interview at all, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's like, okay, you guys want to shame me because I'm stupid? Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I won an award for my show for being a good journalist, but I'm kind of stupid, right? I was in remedial classes and all that, so yeah, y'all gotta excuse me.
Right.
So now they have to take an approach of like, oh, Nore didn't know what he was doing because he was drunk. He was this, he was that. So they excuse him. He's still gonna make his money, but the interview's already out there. So it's like the damage is already done, so to speak. But now that he retracted the whole interview, it shows like the powers that be and everything. It kind of proves Kanye right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In a sense. So for people to look at it like it's a loss, I don't think it's a loss on any side. I think it just sheds light on the whole situation that we should be having a real conversation about free speech.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about what Nore's saying right now. It's like, oh man, I'm dumb. I shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? I should have had control of the interview. The man just won an award for having the best show. And then Laura Stiles said, I'm going to give you a little pushback because you're clearly drunk and you didn't know what you're doing. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he just won an award for being the best thing, that means he brings some sort of realness to the podcast, which is giving him recognition. Am I right or am I right? And did not Jay have the best interview on his platform that bolstered him to a whole new level, a whole new guest and everything like that?
Exactly.
Rosenberg just said that, right? But let me just take it back a little bit. See my man Nore, street dude. Everybody want to play that card where he's just drunk, high, you don't know what's going on. But you and I know. We listen to enough interviews with Nore to know that Nore knows how to play the game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So let's listen.
They didn't let in Hot 97. I've been the guy that wasn't allowed in MTV, BT Studios, Viacom Studios. So I've been there. So I was thinking of that. I was thinking, I said, you know what? I felt like I was blackballed before. So let me let this guy speak. And I did let him speak. And it's a 3-hour interview. It was only 2 minutes of it where I didn't have control of it. You know what I'm saying? So am I apologetic? Yes, I'm super apologetic. It's a learning lesson for me. I've never faced this before, but I want to say that I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I can sit there, I can say, yo, you know, that's only Kanye West, and it's only what he said. But I have a responsibility when I have an audience. And
but do you think? How about this? Let me question you on this. Do you think you were too thirsty to have this moment? Were you looking too much to get the eyeballs?
Peter, to tell you the truth, I already scored the touchdown.
Right.
It was just me spiking the ball. You know what I'm saying? I had already scored the touchdown. I'm just being honest. I feel like we're the biggest in the game. I feel like we are.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Come on, dog. That's slick talk. As a street dude. He's like, I feel like we already won. I just spiked the ball, you know? I was a little taunting a little bit. That sportsmanlike conduct, maybe, but, you know, it's all part of the game. We still won at the end of the day. So y'all can make me the sacrificial lamb if y'all want to. But I apologize, you know. And I think it was more for George Floyd comments than anything else, you know. But they want to highlight that in order to cancel Kanye altogether, because the other 3 hours of the interview, he was on point, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel like I already scored the touchdown. I didn't need the spike. And that's the problem. I wanted to spike the ball because I was very hurt by the awards. Yes, I won the award. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cass.
I'm sorry. I got a question. So
Jump in, Cass.
So at no point when you guys saw this, you didn't think, yo, it might be a bad idea to let this out. That it might, it might bring us backwards for whatever progress has made. Because in my case.
Now, everybody on the panel, why does the black guy have to come on and say that? Because of the George Floyd situation, or because of everything else he said?
He said what? Rewind that again a bit.
Because you got to dissect it like, okay, so if somebody has an objective view on the George Floyd situation, they can't voice their opinion because if you feel like that's a touchy subject, right? Well, we could self-degrade each other all day, every day on these airwaves. And it's not taking it serious. Like, so basically, that's one subject the black community can't talk about. Everything else we can talk about. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where we draw the line. Or is it more to let me see eye? Check this out.
The ball because I was very hurt by the awards. Yes, I won the award. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cass.
I'm sorry. I got a question.
Jump in, Cass.
So at no point when you guys saw this, you didn't think, yo, it might be a bad idea to let this out. That it might bring us backwards for whatever progress has made. Because in my case, after this, I spent this weekend talking with, you know, a bunch of my friends that feel differently, that have a different opinion, that were making roads in one way, and now we're like, yo, but your man saying this. And I'm talking to General, like, I'm gonna say, like, some of my white friends that lean a certain type of way, you know, we still have conversations like, yo, this, that, or the third. But now they're like, yo, man, but your man is saying this and your man is saying that. But look, so now we're having these conversations where we're stepping backwards. At no point did you guys think like, hey, yo, you know what? It might be a bad idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I'm taking responsibility. I can sit here and say, you know, we didn't know. Well, I did know. I did know to a certain extent. But then, but what it was I didn't think he was going to spread this ideology. I didn't think he was going to go there. I thought that he was going to have a couple of drinks. He smoked blunts with us. I thought he was going to. It was going to be lighthearted. And when it took, it was only in the beginning. It was only in the beginning. It's gay. It's gay. It was only in the beginning, and he threatened my producer that if he couldn't film, he would walk out. So we was trying to, that's how our interviews go. Our interviews go. Rosenberg been on this platform. We try to lighten you up, and then we get you drunk, and then we get you to turn to our side. And we tried to do that. We tried to do that. We did, but it's gay, and I learned my lesson. Because at the end of the day, as a journalist, I did my job. I let a person talk. As a journalist, we're supposed to have no opinion, no options, none of that. But I'm black. I'm black. I am George Floyd. I am Virgil. I am, you know what I'm saying? I am that. And I didn't know until I saw it. I don't watch my own interviews. I just think I'm that dope that I don't even watch myself. You know what I'm saying? So when I watched myself, I was embarrassed. I was like, wait a minute, what did you just let him say?
Well, and another lesson for you is that being a journalist isn't just being objective, but it can be fact checking too. And there were times where he needed to get checked. That part, when the George Floyd part, when he referenced the Candace Owens documentary, like that's fact. Like that's not a story she's telling. That bothered me. You know what I'm saying? That he really
bothered me. It bothered me, Rosenberg. It bothered me. I do not follow that. I do not, when the George Floyd thing was happening, I didn't actually go out and march, but I was on every call as if I was marching, and I felt that. I saw that same video. I saw that video. Like, you can't tell me that knee was not on the neck. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. So when I look back at the interview, I was like, damn, Nore, like, why did you wait 2 hours to address that? Even though I did feel like I addressed it, but I addressed it way too late in the interview, way too long, and I'm embarrassed. So to everybody that was, by the way, I could blame this all on Kanye West. I'm not. I want to sit back and say I'm irresponsible for letting it go. I mean, I should have listened to Mav Carver. Yep.
Nore, at any point, maybe off the camera that the audience didn't see, did you have any type of follow-up conversation with him about this?
Yeah. My whole thing was soon as the powers that be that we're down with found out about this, they just tried to remove the episode, and I wanted to defend freedom of speech. I wanted to defend that. So I was like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, boom, 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 boom. And now that I think about it, it's like sometimes freedom of speech just ain't free. You know what I mean? It's just a different world that we live in, and I regret it. Do I regret it? I want to be honest. I regret it.
So if you had to do it again, you would have passed on the interview or not put it out?
No, I would have been the better journalist that I am. I would have probably not drunk. I would have probably stayed sober the whole time and just stayed on the subject, because I still believe people have a right to speak. Whether it's something that you agree with or not, but you have a right to also check them on it and check them immediately, and that's what I would regret.
And I love like it was really interesting too, because for people watching it, you guys don't know Nore personally. And when Nore jumped in at one point, you're like, yeah, we love Jewish people. We love Jewish people. Like, I'm like, no, he's sincere. Like, he has a lot of Jewish friends. He's really, really serious about this. And Ye would not accept it. Like, he wanted to
By the
say
way, Steve Rifkin is in the building. Steve Rifkin is in the show. My friend Diego is in.
What do you think about that, player? What do you think?
There's two things motherfuckers gotta know.
Well, for one, they keep trying to like
because I think that Rosenberg is slick. You know what I'm saying? He made it about George Floyd, but then he said, No, he loves us Jews. But he said what he wanted to say. So you're trying to tell me that nothing y'all can't say nothing about each other, the Jews. But we could talk about us black folks all the while. You know what I'm saying?
What?
If he didn't say nothing about the Jews, you think Rosenberg would be as concerned as he is right now?
Definitely not. Definitely not. That's a double standard right there.
So my whole thing is like, where are they trying to go with this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Nore's like, they should be allowed free speech. But
Right. He's standing on that. You keep saying that.
speech ain't free. He said free speech ain't free. So ultimately what he's saying is,
You can't speak your mind. No matter what. If you're black, you can't speak your mind.
not only that, you can't speak your mind, but it's like,
Regardless of how much money you got.
you can say whatever you want. Just don't say don't say the wrong thing. And if you say the wrong thing that powers that be don't like, then there
will be consequences not in your favor.
Well, my whole thing is, everybody knew what Kanye West was saying wasn't that sharp, you know? Like, okay, when it came to the George Floyd situation, he said it like George Floyd was being targeted somehow, you know? He said George Floyd prayed for 8 minutes, and then the dude had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes. Some change, yeah. And he's like, the fact that they found fentanyl in the system, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know, it created a scenario where it's like they wanted to do him in, but you got a dude that did it, he got 22 years actually. I don't know how much time he's gonna serve, like she can really serve, but for sure a good 10 years, 10, 15 years. But the fact that George Floyd knew the dude, and he knew George Floyd, and I think George Floyd took his chick or something like that, was smashing the same chick. There's a lot of variables that went into the whole thing, you know? So when Kanye West is referencing Candace Owens, I think he's like, this is coming from her mouth, you know? It's weird. It's a weird dynamic still. I just feel like, okay, if Kanye West could say something like that and and say it wasn't the knee that did that. That really killed him. And what are we to really think, you know? But I'm saying everything he said after that was on point.
All right.
So everything he said after that was on point. And he referenced Candace Owens for that one thing that he said that was like, okay, people don't think, because some people look at it like, oh, that's disrespect, you know, how are you going to say it was the drugs and this and that and the other? But I think he didn't mean it that way. I think he was trying to say that was a contributing factor of him getting dying while he was putting his knee on his neck, you know, because he got pepper sprayed too.
Right.
So before pepper sprayed, laying it in a position where he's probably like gasping for air. And he was a big dude too, right? But how did this arresting officer come? Yes, you know, there's a lot of shit we gotta ask ourselves. So then Kanye goes on to say, anyway, let's just finish the interview with Nore real quick, because Nore just doing damage control.
Eric, man, it's in the show. Wait, he was with Jay? No, he knew what he was walking into.
Got it.
I needed black people there. I needed Jewish people there. I needed everyone there to know that the people that, if you are offended, they're right here, Ye. They're right here, Ye. And Ye has a picture. If you look at the behind the scenes, that's Ye hugging Steve Rifkin. That's Steve Rifkin hugging him. This is one of the biggest Jewish people in the world. Wu-Tang Clan. This is him. So I'm thinking, if anybody's supposed to check him, let my Jewish constituents tell me right then and there. So that's the reason why I was a little thrown off, man. You know what I mean? I'm not the best journalist in the world. So that's the reason why, like I said, I can be here and say, yo, that's just Ye. But I want to apologize for my part of it. You know, my part is, you know, letting this rhetoric fly. You know what I mean? I didn't notice it till it was out already. You know, because like I said, I don't edit. We don't edit. Rosenberg, you did our show. We know that we don't edit. We want the purest of the purest.
Oh, believe me, I've wanted you to edit things from other people's interviews before. No, you don't.
What? Guess what? We're going to start editing. Rules have changed.
I know. Hey, Nore, listen, I know you're going to probably continue to get dragged for a little bit, and I'll now probably get dragged for being too easy on you. But guess what? I know where your heart is, and I appreciate you coming on and taking ownership today.
Yeah, we appreciate your
I'm
honesty.
sorry. I now know.
All right, Nore, love you, man. Take care of yourself.
Thank you guys, man. All right, one love.
So what do you think?
Ultimately, I feel like it's not Nore's fault, but like you said,
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Not bad.
Damage control.
We on?
You can't really fault Nore. You know, like he's just doing what he's supposed to do. Kanye, was he out of line for the George Floyd? Yeah. Was he out of line for the Jews comment? Yeah, but I mean, like Nore was saying, we're supposed to have free speech, right? And I don't think he said anything disrespectful. I think it was
A perspective.
misinformed. I think it might have been misinformed to a certain point. I think
He could have educated him in that moment, right?
yeah.
What he could have said, you know.
If he felt a certain way, he could have broke it down a bit more so people could, but
To say you were doing the interview and all that.
it just like you said, it it proves his point. Sorry.
Rosenberg said he took ownership, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like if everything that Kanye says is wrong, you know, because it offends people. But what if he's right? You know what I'm saying? That's what would be the cool thing about it. That's why freedom of speech exists, you know. Because whether you're wrong or you're right, you have the ability to be educated on the situation or say how you feel about it, you know. That's how you get critical thought, you know. You weigh the pros and cons and everything, you know, and you dig a little bit beneath the surface type shit.
Yeah. And this is it. That's what they don't want. They don't want people to be critically thinking and they just want you to stay within the within their formula, within their system,
their framework.
Well, once you start to think outside of what they consider norm, then we got an independent thinker. We gotta silence this guy.
That's really what it boils down to. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Nore exposed the whole thing, low key. Banned from TV. Remember that?
Yeah.
Kanye's banned from everything. Nore loves Kanye because they used to be label mates on Rockefeller. You remember?
Right.
So they know each other from way back. So it's like, you know, it's just a quick breakdown of how it goes down on these airwaves. Kanye said, I got $120 million in Chase bank account. And they did me like that. What do you think they'll do to y'all? Y'all, this is crazy. But that's how it goes, you know? You're dealing with their laws and institutions, you know? So you got to go by their rules. How is that a democracy? How is that justice? How is that a free, we call it, civilized society?
Well, to show you. It's what's that Jay-Z song there? Talking about OJ? Yeah.
Let me show you what Whack 100 had to say about it. Cause he's a goofy ass nigga. Yo, Whack 100 had to come out and say some goofy. You know what?
What's that?
Because he's helping the powers that be. Hold Nore's feet to the fire, you know? Because he thinks somehow, some way he can get a bag out of it.
Right.
And he's gonna say, "Oh, you're snaking Kanye West." But Nore never canceled Kanye West. He just said should have handled the interview a bit better. Ultimately, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Club shit. Nah, bro. When you was hearing it, I just heard that Breakfast Club shit. Nah, bro. Bro, we know we doing what we doing. That's one thing about it. So, and I fuck with you, man. What you can't do is act like you wasn't hearing what you was hearing, and act like you had a problem with it when you was hearing it.
Let me get the right video. Salute to Game Spitters. This is the Whack 100. Tries to shit on Nore. Get brownie points with Kanye.
What?
He's basically trying to shit on Nore, getting brownie points with Kanye
Right.
and the Jewish community, you know?
Fuck with you, bro. But I just heard that Breakfast Club shit. Nah, bro. You street niggas, bro. We know we doing what we doing. That's one thing about it, Zoe. And I fuck with you, but what you can't do is act like you wasn't hearing what you was hearing, and act like you had a problem with it when you was hearing it. Cause we know you didn't have a problem with it. You didn't even have a problem with the nigga calling Puff a fan, nigga, and that's on Rebo, nigga. Like that's Puff Network. But nigga, if you gonna fuck with Ye, bro. We all disagree and agree with some shit Ye says. You know what I'm saying? And that's just our personal opinion. But all the apologies to the family and all this shit, like you all of a sudden anti-Ye, that ain't gangster, homie. Knowing you a stand-up dude, bro. Just simply say you let that man do his interview because it's Kanye West, it's Ye, right? You didn't want him to walk out because in the same token, I just went and checked. If you that emotional about this shit, why is it still up? You still reaping the benefits of the views, bro. If it's that serious, like, bro, don't play off into the politics, bro. Stand on your square like you always did, bro. You didn't have no problem with that man speaking his opinion because it was his opinion. Don't let him put it on you. Tell him address Ye. You there to ask a question and get a motherfucking answer. You ain't the judge and jury to that, but don't flip it, bro. Like all of a sudden, oh, I got at Ye after the fact. And you didn't get at Ye right then and there like you always do when he said what he said. Niggas don't want to hear that shit, bro. Stand on your square. You did a great motherfucking interview, part 3. Probably one of the biggest, viewing artists that comes up there, bro. Don't act like, well, I done got 3 out of him, I don't need him no more. Fuck him. Nah, bro. Stand on your square. You ask the questions, they get an answer. That's it, bro. All that other shit, bro, that shit ain't real. That shit ain't right, bro. And niggas ain't respecting that, bro. All of a sudden, you totally against everything he was saying and all this shit. All that shit is cap. Big cap, bro. You did it for the reasons you did it for, and we don't knock that, bro. It's business. Stand on your square, Nore. Stand on your square. You a stand-up nigga, bro. Don't let these niggas shake you like this all of a sudden. Be who you always been, bro. Love.
Yeah, no, we're right 100% right on this. We ain't trying to hear none of that bullshit you talking about on that Breakfast Club. Talking about Kanye this and you don't agree with that. You still got the video up and you still getting the money and you ain't check them. And you just did it on your platform. You ain't check them. So we ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Yeah, I know you're a real nigga. Yeah, you stand up and all that stuff. But damn, all that stuff. We ain't talking about that. We talking about your ass right now. Yeah, we talking about what you just said on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, you trying to say you want to sue. Yeah, you trying to say your ass. Yeah. Now, stand on it. Yeah, stand on it. You can disagree, but stand on it. Yeah, you know you wanted that interview. That's why we still got it.
Yeah. So what do you think? I think Michael Hunter's running game. That's what he's trying to do, man. Trying to shit on Nore. So if Nore sincerely apologized, why is he acting like, oh, he can't do that? Because he don't want Nore to get no money. He's like, because he was talking all that trash about Nore, so now he sees Nore's down, so he try to kick him while he's down, you know what I'm saying? What a whack ass nigga, dog. I look at it like, you're saying that he should have stood on his square and not and said what? Don't ask me, ask you. That's his opinion.
Yeah, but that's how you get canceled. So of course Nore is gonna do what he has to do to maintain his shit.
Exactly. Like so.
And I don't think he didn't stand on his square. He stood on his square. He said he apologized for anybody who got offended. He didn't apologize.
He did it so smoothly too. Like, why would you hate on that? Why would you be like? Why would you hate on say that's not real because he did? Because he didn't check him on the show, so it's not real for him to say that he might have been wrong on a few things after. That's how he felt. Because that's exactly what Nore did, right? He broke down what he felt like he did wrong.
Right.
But all in all, he knew he had a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So what Whack 100 is trying to do is just stir the pot. He ain't saying, he ain't coming with no, real insight about the situation. He's just trying to stir the pot. That's all he's doing.
Instigating it.
Don't let them do that to you, Nore. Stand on your square. Like, first of all, you from the West Coast. Y'all don't say stand on the square.
Right.
Second of all, you talking all that shit. Whack one money. Trying to kick a man while he's down. When, the fact of the matter is the man could have really thought that I made a genuine mistake and I'm correcting my wrongs. That's what he did, like, as a man.
Right.
Because I wasn't going with the George Floyd shit neither. I believe that he got choked out, but I believe also that he was targeted. And I believe there's a lot of questions surrounding that. And the way they're marketing the whole thing around it. They're selling George Floyd t-shirts out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have people that died at the hands of police. So I know it's like some type of Black Lives Matter cash grab, because I'm sure they didn't give the proceeds to their family, and I'm like, I don't know what they did, but oh yeah, the George Floyd family got like 20 mil or something like that. Some crazy amount.
Right.
22 mil or something. What? All in all, I think Ye had a great interview. And the fact of the matter is that those little mishaps that he was talking about didn't deny the fact that he spoke his truth, and it was resounding throughout the whole internet and everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So people know what's really good, who's controlling what, how we're being censored, who we could talk about, who we can't talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just gonna be it.
And they spoke about that too. That's the crazy part.
You know what I'm saying? So what the hell is Whack 100 talking about? Said Nore didn't stand on this square. If Nore would have not said nothing and said, yeah, George Floyd didn't die of fentanyl, I wouldn't think that's something Nore would think about, because like he said, he's in the short bus, right? He's not thinking that deep or critical. No, he's too smart. No, he got that. That street smarts. I feel it out. Always bring it back to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real. It's real in the field. How could you not be the best podcast out there and not let the man that's most controversial speak on it? You know what I'm saying?
The reason why they're number one is because of interviews like that, and they want them to censor that. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. See? You just broke it down right there. It don't make no sense. So Nore said, I just want to grab you, and I'm mad at the, what did he say? I'm mad at the awards or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he stopped. And he went into something else.
Right.
So you're like, you give me an award and I can't do what I want to do and get the right. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron and them didn't want to hear that. They're like, anti-Semitic. When I have problems with all these Jewish people that play basketball, Adam Sandler is gonna call me on the phone. All this shit. So you say LeBron dodged the bullet, and then Nore take the strays. Man. It's crazy, y'all player?
Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, I think Wack is just trying to fucking, like you said, I think he's just trying to stir the pot.
Right.
He didn't really say nothing. He just, you know, instigating, so to speak. And
oh, fuck Wack, no honey. He don't keep going, honey.
Nore did a good job, you know, of holding himself and his show down. To say, oh, he apologizes for the comments that offended people, you know. But other than that, everything else he felt was good. So, yeah, I agree. Oh, Kanye got reckless, and you know that's how he is. He fucking pops off, and he offends people. But ultimately, like you said, after that, most of the things he was talking were on point. So you can't really, you know, you're gonna highlight two or three things he said.
They're harping on that because they know he's talking the real. So if he's saying something like that, because he's maybe catering to his constituency, or maybe he knew that Candace Owens is full of shit. So he referenced her documentary and saying that George Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Kanye's like, I don't know, man. He's on point still. But at the same time, I think like, I don't know, man. There's something about it. It's like he puts out bullshit, and then, you know, it's like a clinical shit. Like, you know, he's malfunctioning. Like he's saying real shit, but he sprinkles in a little bit of crazy shit at the same time. You know?
Yeah.
And that's a I think that's a gift. That's like an artistic gift that he has. That makes him excel. I don't know. It's just weird still. It's just because yo, there's no real reason for him to bring up George Floyd.
Right.
He could have just spoke about Black Lives Matter and how they were scamming the people, you know, and he could have just, you know. But then he brought up George Floyd because he wanted to reference Candace Owens. Anyway, we just gotta see what's good. Man.
Exactly. See what happens. We gotta let time pass a little bit and see how they continue moving forward. I think Nore's yesterday's price is not today's price for Nore. So good for him. And I think that
and if it was so bad as coming, then they should be offended at they should be offended that he even went up there in the first place. Because they knew he was going to say all these things, you know?
Yeah.
So now, after the fact, the man did what journalists is supposed to do, which is let you talk and let you express yourself.
Right.
Get the most candid interview possible. And y'all say, oh, he can't say this, he can't say that. And Kanye has the footage too, eh? He's like, I ain't doing it without recording.
Yeah.
My people recording. So, you know, he's doing his thing, man. He's on a crusade, man, and it's gonna be fun to watch, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. You heard the man. He said he's tired. He's tired of the fuckery. So he's about to let loose with it. And
He's
he's
like,
a
y'all took everything from me.
man's a billionaire, dog. So what are you gonna? I mean, I'm sure they could try to.
They're gonna try to tear him down, but you know, we gotta support him because at the end of the day, his heart is in the right place, dog. He's trying to do good for humanity, dog. Like,
right.
So yeah, I don't think call him what you want, but like the man created $1 billion plus industry for himself after being a creative visionary, you know? Like a Steve Jobs or something like that. And he's opening water wells in Dominican Republic. You know, doing little stuff like I think he means well. They try to break him with his whole family situation, you know? Call him crazy and all that.
Right.
So because he has an opinion and is based in truth, he's getting canceled. He's getting uprooted. You know what I'm saying? People are backing away. Well, already back away. He just felt like certain things he didn't like about the interviewer, which is right. But for them to try to make him take down the whole interview,
right,
it shows that their power reaches, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how far is it gonna reach? You know what I'm saying? There's people all over looking at Kanye, thinking about what's Kanye's next move right now, you know? So I gotta find footage of that interview, man. Because basically they took it down, but I think there's other bloggers that have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's on Ilya Glasnov.
Ilya. Yeah.
But you know when Ye said, "Yo, the I'm gonna tell you right now, the devil is a defeated foe." When he said that, whew, he's like, "Y'all can't do nothing to me." Yo, I'm telling you, that's some God got him, boy.
You guys are
Phoenix, huh?
hating him for all this freedom he has.
Yeah.
Because the man's strong arming his freedom.
Yeah. What do they do when they silence you? They start to try to call you crazy, take away your money, the way you eat, take away your family from you. All I gotta say is salute to Kanye West, salute to Noriega, Nore.
DJ
Without
EFN.
Nore, we wouldn't have got that interview. that's what's crazy about it, because Nore never will take this on the chin, you know? He'll be like, yeah, I'm retarded. I don't know. I was joking. I didn't know. Then Rosenberg is like, thank you for owning up, Nore. I know you're a friend of ours. But he might not slip up again. But I think Nori's like, he's at a point in his career where he's like, I'm going to push the envelope, but then I'm going to dial it back. Because he did say he's going to start editing and shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't never gonna diss Nore and DJ EFN because y'all brought the interview and y'all doing your thing, man. Don't let these industry gatekeepers hold y'all back from putting out quality content for the people, the masses. You know what I'm saying? And really exercise your freedom of speech and show them that you're fearless.
Right.
That's how you gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wanna be like Larry King? I gotta ask the right questions. Larry King, I bet you Larry King ain't never retracted no statement or was sorry for interviewing somebody. But if he did, probably for a good reason, you know? So, good journalism comes with being candid, being real, being authentic. You know what I'm saying? Raw, uncut. Because then you get the deepest emotions out of that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I found. But the fact of the matter that Kanye said, I ain't doing this interview without with my own film crew, because he probably knew that they were gonna cast him. Or they're gonna not air the interview. And if he knew that, it's because he knows what to say. So now he's gonna open his own streaming thing like a Twitter or a Facebook or something like that.
That's true. He did say that. And
he's gonna start saying what he wants. But that's part of warfare too, you know what I'm saying? He parlayed that real well, didn't he? God damn. Shout out to Yeezy. Anyway, we're gonna leave it right there, man.
Yeah.
Y'all out there, like, subscribe, share this live, man. Just tell us what you think about the whole situation, because it's real in the field. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can't forget how they feel. I guess you gotta really, really feel feel what they feel, I guess, but they can't feel what you feel. You feel me? Anyway, it's your boy Matt Mizzle. You know my slogan. Before you go out there and do something stupid, ask yourself, what will Mac do? All I do is sit back, relax, and kick facts. You dig? We out.
Yeah.
All right, fam. Doesn't know. WI.
Yes, sir.